Good morning everyone. I am over by Pickett's Post. There's a McDonald's over here. Tempting, but I've stayed away. We've still got, as you can see, some leaves on the trees. We are now 20th of November and yeah, it still looks absolutely glorious out here. There is a bit of sunlight you can see through the trees there, not a lot, and I know there's some cloud closing in as well. And I'm just hoping to get out here and see some beech trees. Just gonna quickly glance at the map, see what I'm heading towards. Ridley Wood. There's some lovely beech trees in there. I've had a little scout around there before. There's a lovely little horse just through the gap there somewhere. Oh yeah, that way. There. Such a beautiful thing to see in the morning, isn't it? Just come out here. Heading down this path, I've got these lovely trees in front of me here. It's very tempting to stop and just start shooting now. But unless if the sun comes out, I might just do that. But I think I'm just going to try and head over to Ridley Wood and try and set up around there. But this is beautiful. It really is. There's some lovely trees out here. I'll give you a good example. I'll just stand between a few here. Look what these two are doing. Look at that, what a beast, eh? These are common beech. And they are beautiful, they really are. This one's got a really unusual branch, it's reaching right out here, touching me there, look. And if you follow it back, it's not leaning on anything, it's just on its own weight, and it probably will collapse soon because there's one just further on. You can see in the little gap in there, it's already started to fall. But what's even more shocking, you don't see many trees lined up to take its place. There's a lot of holly trees here, but no saplings, no beech saplings at all. Which I don't know. It's almost like, it's not our problem, but it should be. It should be. We should be doing something about it. This land is somewhat managed now. You take from it, but we don't put back in. But I'm not here for that. I'm here for photography, so we're just going to look around, see what we can find. Beautiful horse through there. Look at that. Look at it. Look at that little beaut. There's some there. Would you look at this? I've come to this common beech. Cannot believe this. This branch here is starting to rot on the end, but I don't know. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Probably about 30 feet because I had some gaps in my steps there, but 30 feet, this branch is hanging from the main tree, not resting on anything. And it's all the way out here. There's a real spring in its step. That's absolutely amazing. The strength of these trees is just unreal. And yeah, as you can see, the leaves are just holding on the under canopy here. But at the top, where it's exposed to the elements, most of the leaves are blown away. So I'm hoping to get some pictures of horses maybe walking through the forest. I'm hoping to get possibly some nice under canopy sort of shots as well. It's just a case of where. I might try and get this though. I just don't know how to make that look like it's really long. Let's have a go. There's no sunlight, the sun's gone away. And I think I've got the angle. So I'm going for like f14 here because I need that branch to be in focus as much as possible. I'm not too bothered if it's slightly out in the foreground, but for me it will probably help you decide that there is a lot of depth there. I might have another go from another angle, but I really like it here with the 70mm on this 70 to 200mm Nikon lens. It keeps some of that light out above the canopy there. So let's see how it comes out. I'm focusing probably in the middle of that branch that's reaching out. I have got a branch that's sort of leaning over the whole scene here. I don't know whether to get that in as well. I might go back a little bit further and get that. But it looks like it would help block some of that light coming through the trees. It's starting to rain a little bit now. I kind of expected that. Got to move a little bit quick now. So I'm on ISO 64. As you can hear, the shutter's quite slow because of my aperture. You want to give yourself a bit of breathing space around this whole scene. I'm just going to move back a bit. So I've moved back just to see what that branch over the top will look like in this whole scene. You've really got to think this through because it looks nice, but less is more. This might overcomplicate the scene a little bit. My thoughts here are just that I'm trying to block out more light coming through at the top. But it might be a little bit too much for this scene. I've taken a few shots of it. I mean, let's have a look. Can I show you what I'm seeing? Personally, I think there's too much going on here now, and the best way to see it is to learn from your mistakes. Take the shot, look at it, and then realise you made a mistake. And that's how we move forwards. We're always learning. I'm just going to see if I can get you in live view and I'll show you. So this is what I'm trying to concentrate on, this branch leading all the way back to this tree. And it's a lovely tree there. But now I think what I thought was going to be a nice little framing and get rid of some of that light up in the canopy is now a distraction. It's not working. So if I move forwards just slightly just to get that out, then I should be back on track again. So let's do that. Move forwards and I'll show you what I mean. Still at 70mm. There's our lovely tree. That I think is our framing, and I'm focused probably about there. Yeah, my focal point is right there. You can't see it, I've just tapped on the screen on that branch. So yeah, that's my shot. I think it looks quite nice. Let's see how it comes out. That was all off camera, but I'm hoping I can use that. This might be a 16:9 because I might crop off some of the top of the scene, but I really like the colours. It is actually really dark, but because we're working with slow shutter speeds here, I got about 2 seconds I think on that one, so yeah. That's how dark it is, and you can't really touch a camera. You wouldn't be able to handhold that, I don't think. So yeah, let's move on, see if we can find something else. Wow. Lovely dark sky up there. Just had spitting rain. But really like the look of that oak tree in the middle there. And you can imagine if a bit of sunlight just spilt through now and lit that tree, side lit it, it would just pop in that landscape. And you've got lovely silver birch in the background as well, with the white trunks. There's still some good autumn foliage out there, but we are past peak. I don't know whether to hang around for that shot when the light does come back. I can see it's going to be waves of dark clouds, which is a great combination for dramatic photography. You'd get a band of dark cloud come through, maybe a bit of rain, then you get a bit of sunlight come through afterwards, and it will light up the back of that rain and give you a rainbow. Everything would be wet and saturated. It really adds to the drama of these woodland photos. And landscape photos do look great when the sun and rain is working together. Bit of a storm brewing. Yeah, I'm just going to hang around, I think. I really do want to get that. The fact it's still got all of its leaves is just something, because it's in the middle of this valley here, and you would have thought that's exposed to the wind. And there is a silver birch, I think, just around this corner here. I might have a little look at that, but where I'm trying to get to, I'm trying to get to that woodland on the far side. There's a lot of stuff in there that I quite like. Anyway, let's see what happens. I can see a band of blue sky behind me just going across towards the sun. I don't think I've already mentioned how close I am to a dual carriageway that runs across the back. And I wouldn't normally come here because so far I've seen about 5 or 6 people walk past, and we stopped and had a lovely conversation. I don't mind that. But my problem is I've got limited time to get these shots. So while I'm there, stood there talking, I do welcome it. I wouldn't tell anyone to move on or whatever. I just prefer to avoid coming to locations that I know that are going to get hit really hard by people just walking their dogs and stuff like that. But yeah, just one of those things that comes with the location, I guess. They are local people, because I do find out where they're from, and you know, it's nice hearing their stories. Probably the bit you don't see in any photographer's video, the waiting around for something to happen. Sun is here, it's exactly where I want it to be. I've got down a bit lower and I want to kind of get to this shot before the light really does get to the back. So my histogram is all stacked up in the middle. I might move back and try and get a bit of the canopy of a tree just slightly above. I'm on f11, 70mm. Got a shot of 40th of a second. Yeah, what a beautiful scene it really is. You'd have seen I tried to use this silver birch as an overhang. The sky was quite boring over there, but managed to bump it up a little bit using that method. Always look for a good overhang if your sky is boring. It can fill in that space, and leave yourself a good gap as well, because you have the option of just doing a 16:9 and getting rid of it if you don't like the overhang, and carry on shooting, because this is it's nice. I'm out. Yeah, absolutely perfect. If you're looking out the window and you're thinking, do I get out of bed, do I do this? I almost think, forget about thinking, just do it. Don't even let yourself start thinking. It's a bit like taking a jump into some deep water. You know you're safe, you know you can do it, you've got a good clearance, and then you start to overthink it and you end up not doing it. So don't think, just get up, get your boots on, get out the door. So I just realised I'm looking down a slope and I've got the oak tree in the foreground. I'm trying to get the whole thing in, but what I didn't think to do is just get the overhang. Because I'm up on the valley, I'm looking down at some trees behind it. So I'm not looking at sky, so I can cut the sky out. And I've got a lovely white horse in the scene in the foreground, so I'm just going to see if I can do something with this. I just need to get the horse to lift its head, and I think I might have a shot. I'm at f8. I've got a 50th of a second shutter, ISO 64. I just need that head. It's just coming into alignment with a silver birch, which could be a bit annoying. It looks like it's growing out of it, so I'm going to shift a little bit. It's moving again, but it's keeping its head down, which is really annoying. I need this to lift its head. I need this horse to lift its head. So you see, I took a few shots back there. I'm quite happy how they came out actually. I did check the back of the camera and always do that because you kind of want sharp images. If you go home and you find out they're all blurry, especially if you've forgotten to turn off the manual focusing back to auto focusing, that could be a disaster. So keep checking that. But that's what it is, it's a checklist. You're just going over it all the time, every photo. And yeah, I'm moving further in now. I'm down at the bottom of, I want to say valley, but it's not much of one. It's getting a bit bright now, so I've got to really think about maybe adding a polarizer here as well to keep some of the glare off the leaves. At the moment it looks all right. I've got the direct sunlight hitting this tree and it's yeah, it's still got its leaves on it. There's a mixture of green and orange and yellow going on here, and the floor is just orange. And there's another composition, believe it or not, just behind it, so I'll see if I can do something with that as well. But yeah, this is lovely. I guess because we're kind of opposite the sun, the sky's rich, the colours are rich. Take a few shots of that. There's some distractions around the back, and there's not a lot I can do about that. I might try a shallower depth of field, just see if that does anything. I think the first thing I'm going to do is just freehand with the camera to see if I can get a few lovely shots here. I do like that it is wet actually. It is giving a bit of a flare back, but I do like that it is wet. There's a lovely one here which is stuck to the side of the tree, but it's got lovely lines going across it. And there may be a nice one here as well. I think it's upside down for what I want, so I wonder if I can make that stick the other way. Yeah, that seems to work. And then just peel off the ones I don't want. Maybe keep that little one there and just brush the others off. And I might have a shot there as well. So this is the polarizer working right now, and if I rotate it, you see, especially in this area, the white reflections are really flaring up there, and as I bring it back round again, you see it cut through them and it just drops dead, no reflections. And that's pretty much why, if you're going to have a one filter in your bag, make sure it's a circular polarizer. There's no other filter that you really need. unless you're into slow moving water. But to me, I think circular polarizer all the way. It's not something you can replicate back in Photoshop. You're kind of stuffed if you've got white light staring back at you from your image. So yeah, if you're going to get one filter, make sure it's a polarizer, and try to think about your largest lens ring on the front, the thread on it, because if you buy filters for the larger lens, then they easily fit on the smaller lenses, whereas the other way round, you're kind of limited. You can't put a small filter on a large lens. It just, wow, think about it. But yeah, there you go. So that's that image. I'm now going to move on, take the next couple of images I've seen along here, and I'll upload those images, and I think I'm going to call it a day as well. So if you haven't yet, give me a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't getting the feedback I am getting from some people. And yeah, hit the bell if you want to be notified of my next video. Until then, keep taking photos, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.